So now we're going to take a look at a couple of examples to better understand those distinctions that we saw in the last video. Where first, we're going to look at a recent survey of 834 employees in the US who were asked if they thought their jobs were highly stressful. There's a typo in that, but that's okay. Of the 834 respondents, 517 said yes, and I venture to guess if that study was made more recently, the number would have gone up. But anyway, what we want to do here is identify the population and sample. We're going to describe the sample data set. So here, for this problem, understanding what the population is a matter of seeing what it is we're actually trying to describe, what we're trying to learn about. And what we're trying to understand here is people in the United States who have jobs. We're trying to find out about US employees. And to learn about US employees, we're not going to go out and find every single person who's currently holding a job and ask them how they feel about it. That would be unreasonable. Instead, for our sample, we're going to look at 834 people who were surveyed and asked about their job, where our data here will consist of the 500, let me make sure I get this number right, 17 yeses and the 317 no's. So again, the data is a number of yeses and no's. It's not really numerical data in the way you'd expect. It is still something that we're measuring. We're measuring a response here. It's a binary response, but it is a response nonetheless. And that is what we're trying to describe, where if we wanted to, we could understand that there are ways we could make this description narrower or wider depending on what it is that we're trying to look at. We could, instead of just looking at US employees, look at all people in the US who have ever been employed and make this a broader population. Or instead of taking all US employees, we could just look at employees in teaching or postal work or retail work. I don't know why I'm defaulting to very stressful jobs, but the point is we could specify the group we're looking at that we draw this 834 from, depending on what we want to look at and what we have. For our second example, we have that a study on entering freshmen at a university was found to have an average SAT math score of 514, where we want to determine if that measure is a parameter or a statistic. So again, what we have to do here is look at the context. And the context that we have here isn't all students at the university. It isn't all freshmen at any school. It's just the freshmen at this school. And when we're talking about the measurement on them, the ACT scores, we have scores for all students, which means that because we have scores for every single student that is a freshman at that school, and we're only looking at freshmen at that school specifically, we're looking at a parameter because we only have this context. Again, the change here, the choice here, that is a bit subtle, but we just have to bear in mind that even though the group we're looking at is specific, it is not specific presented as part of something larger. It's just that one, admittedly, not very large or complex group. Well, it does sound a bit disrespectful to freshmen.